I'm here with Dorothea Vasicek. Your full name is so fun to say. That's why I keep saying it.
I like it.
Yeah, it's badass. And Dot's amazing. She's like a world traveler, and she also helps me a lot with simple living and travel. And lately she's been helping me score amazing plane tickets. And you have so much knowledge on that subject. And
From experience.
From experience of being nomadic and traveling a ton. And I get questions about that all the time. It's like, how do you travel affordably, and how do you score great deals, and what do you do to book your tickets? And you recently wrote an amazing article for our website, my website. And so I'm wondering if you can share some of your tips here.
Definitely. Yeah, because I really feel like if you even just utilize like one of these tips, you will save money, or you will earn money, or you will save on travel. Like, it will really change your life. The first tip that I have is to travel with low-fare airlines. Like, a lot of people who have never flown, or they just don't know a whole lot about the airplane industry, it's like they think of the big names like Delta and United, and you can score deals with these with these airlines, but there are so many little guys. Like, there are so many smaller like sister airlines, I guess is what they would be, because they're all kind of connected to the big guys, but they offer really low fare options. And some of my favorite low fare airlines, if you're flying domestically within the US, Southwest is
the shit.
It's unbeatable. Like,
oh my god, we're in Brooklyn right now. We're here right now. I was going to be on a plane right now, but I booked through Southwest, and so when I decided that I wanted to stay here longer, I just canceled my flight, and now I have those points to use. I have that money to use on a different Southwest flight because they refund you in that way.
Right. They're super flexible. Even if you get like the cheapest available ticket, like the no turnaround.
Want to get away.
Yeah, want to get away price. Like, they'll still work with you. Like, they're really good about that. I love Southwest.
And their baggage rules are amazing. You like always get to check bags and
really cool.
They're great.
I almost hopped on a plane to Peru the other day. I was so close, but I didn't. But I flew. If I did, I would have flown through Aeromexico. Yeah, and they're really good if you're going to Central or South America. Yeah, that's like a super good low fare. There's also some other low fare options in Central and South America. If you're going to Europe, the best airlines by far, my favorite flight experience has actually been with Norwegian Air.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they even had vegan options on the menu, which blows my mind. They had like vegan, kosher, gluten-free, like they were so catering to everyone. And I flew from JFK. It kind of all depends on where you're flying out of too, like if it's a major hub or not. JFK is a really big hub in New York City, and you can fly to Europe, like get to Copenhagen or basically anywhere in Europe through Norwegian Air I think I flew for like less than $400, which people think, they assume like, oh, you're going international, it's $1,000, but it's not. Like, it doesn't have to be that way.
No, not at all. I flew to Thailand. I booked a round trip ticket to Thailand and back last year for under $1,000. Yeah. And there were fares out of LA for like $500 one way.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
So the airline can make a really big difference. Yeah. Definitely. The second tip I have is to be flexible. So this is just good in general, like in life. But it's so important when you're traveling because there are going to be hiccups. Like, it's the only guarantee is that there will be problems.
Yeah, assume that there will be hiccups.
Yeah,
and you'll enjoy it so much more too.
Yeah, definitely. But also be flexible. This is a really cool tip. So be flexible in that once you've done all your research and you've booked your flight and you're at the airport, you've gone through security, you're at your gate, go to your desk, go to the desk and talk to the person there and say, hey, if this flight is overbooked, I want to get bumped. Like, I volunteer. And this is really cool, especially if you're not in a rush to get to your destination. And a lot of the times they'll book you for the next day, and so you'll have to stay in a hotel that night. Sometimes they'll pay for that hotel. Sometimes they won't. But pretty much guarantee that they will reimburse you for the inconvenience with flight vouchers, which they take a year, like they expire in a year, but you can use those to go anywhere with that airline. And
Dot, you've traveled so many places just by doing that, just by being flexible and probably by having like a great extra day in a city.
Right. And it's like a new adventure.
Vouchers, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it gives you a chance to just explore somewhere new and just be a little bit more relaxed and not so rushed. And it gives you money in your pocket. Like I've gotten like almost $1,000 worth of vouchers in one go just by doing this.
It's incredible.
Yeah, that's a really, really cool thing to do.
I was just thinking about flexible in terms of day, and this might be on your list too, but like in terms of what day you book your tickets initially too.
Yes.
Just like certain days of the week are cheaper to fly on.
Totally. That's actually my third tip.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There you go.
She knew it. Is to fly, like check the time of day, the day of the week, and the time of the year. Like those three things can greatly influence the price of the ticket. Like red eyes in general are much harder to fill because people don't want to fly in the middle of the night. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are really good days, not only to book your flight, but also to fly on. Like, because most people fly on the weekends, like Fridays and Sundays. So they drop the prices down midweek. And then September, March are just generally those times of year are cheap to fly. Those are like the non-touristy seasons. So again, that kind of depends on your destination, but in general, those are good times. So yeah, definitely flying on certain days. And also, this goes with being flexible, but I use this one website called Skyscanner.
Oh, Skyscanner's the shit.
Yeah, it's a really, really good website, and it's cool because you can just look at a calendar and just like, instead of pinpointing an exact day, just look at, okay, when is the cheapest time to fly, and it'll give you all of your searches like all at once. So I highly recommend checking out that website.
It's amazing. Google actually has a pretty similar awesome calendar view.
Yeah.
And I love it because you can put in the day you want to leave, and then if you're doing a round trip, it'll show you the prices for all the days like in that calendar for coming back, so you can be like, oh wow, I can save $200 if I come back this day instead of this day.
Yeah, like just stay somewhere or leave a day early, and you save a few $100.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Really cool. So the fourth tip is to get paid to fly. This is using your credit card. So if you have a credit card, definitely be racking up miles or some sort of compensation for it. I know that there are people that do this and they kind of skirt the system, and there are tricks to doing that. I'm not going to give you those tips now because I am not actually super versed in them. Like, it's just too much of a headache for me to keep up, and I don't actually have a mailing address right now, so to have stuff like bills and credit cards shipped to me just doesn't make sense right now. But I would recommend looking into different cards that offer miles, mile rewards, and just do what makes sense. Like, for a long time, I thought the Southwest card made sense for me because I was flying a lot domestically. But now I don't fly so much domestically, and it really doesn't make so much sense for me to have that card. And so something like the Capital One Rewards card, where you can use your rewards to pay for travel anywhere. Like, it's not limiting to the airline. Like, I know some people, I've heard like the United Rewards card is really good.
Yeah, I have a Bank of America one too.
Yeah, but be careful though, because sometimes like you don't want to.
Oh, it's airline specific.
Yeah, be so airline specific,
exactly.
because like
then you may end up booking with the airline just because you want to get the rewards, but the ticket's more expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that can leave you in kind of a tough spot because you're like, oh crap, my rewards are going to expire, I have to use them.
Yeah,
but you're actually going to be ending up like paying more in the long run. So just be careful, do your research, and do whatever makes sense for you. You know, if you're flying a lot domestically, then get the domestic card. If you're flying a lot everywhere, then just be cautious. But definitely be getting rewarded for the money you spend.
You're going to spend that money anyway. Like, put it on the credit card.
Yeah.
Then pay it off.
Definitely. And then my last tip is know when and how to complain. So it kind of sounds weird, and I don't want it to be like, oh, she's using the airline, like, because there are definitely situations that come up that are kind of like, okay, la-di-da, but I think most people would be surprised if they just spoke up and weren't so complacent about issues that come up. Like, you don't have to get pissed and be mad about like a delayed flight, but you can totally complain, and you can get food vouchers at the very least. You know, like get $15 to spend in the airport on some water or some food of some sort. Or the best way to complain for a truly horrendous flight experience, which I've had, is to actually just send an email directly to the customer service people and just tell them exactly what your experience was and just what was unacceptable. for you, and they want their customers to be happy. Like, this is a customer service industry. Yeah, that's what they're there for, and they will reimburse you. Like, they will do something for you, and basically just be kind of pushy. I used to have a customer service job, so I know the buttons to press, and saying, talking to the manager and wanting to just insisting, really, just being kind of pushy about it, if the circumstance is calling for that. Like,
and you can do that in a really, like, lovely way, too.
Yeah. You don't have to be nasty. You don't have to be cussing people out. Like, you do have to be stern and like, ready to kind of bust some balls, but you don't have to be so mean about it. Yeah. I had my favorite story about this is I was flying from Hilo, Hawaii to London Heathrow, and that's a long journey, and you're working against time zones, and it's supposed to take like 24 hours. Like, my flight was scheduled to take 24 hours. Yeah. But because of a whole myriad of issues, it ended up taking me 3 days to get there.
God, I remember that.
It was like 3 sleepless, horrible days. They lost my luggage. Like, anything that went wrong. And so I ended up just really, like, sticking to my guns and just saying, look, this was wrong. Like, this should not have happened. I've flown a lot, and it's not usually that bad. That was rough. And they ended up reimbursing me enough to later pay for my flight to Peru. So awesome. That's like a few $100s, and that was worth speaking up about. Like, I could have just kept my mouth shut, and nothing would have happened, and they wouldn't have been any the wiser. So
they want to take care of you. They want you to keep flying. They want you to have a good experience. And
right.
It's worth, like, conveying how you're feeling.
Totally. Yeah. So those are some of my favorite things to do. I do them on a regular basis. Yeah, and it's like there's no reason to pay full price or what you think of as full price for an airline ticket anymore, Like,
no, it's so, like,
there's a lot of options.
So many options. So many people are traveling by air. It doesn't have to be seen, like you said, as this, like, really expensive endeavor.
Right. I love it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I think people are really going to appreciate these tips.
Yeah.
And I want to put up a link to Dot's channel so you can check her out and follow her travels. And we'll see you guys later.
See ya.